This is Barbara with Cana Girl Speaks podcast. My voice, your voice. Good evening, everybody. This is Barbara with the Cana Girl Speaks podcast, and I always open my podcast saying thank you for always supporting the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. Thank you for watching on YouTube, and thank you for listening on any of your podcast apps. If it's Anchor, if it's Spotify, if it's Apple Podcasts, just thank you for listening to the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. So this evening, I wanted to bring on this young lady, and I want to talk to her a little bit. So I'm going to introduce to you Miss Patricia Hernandez-Vidal. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Miss Kelley. Thank you so much for having me here.
Well, thank you for just taking the time out to being on the Cana Girl Speaks podcast. So why don't you tell those that are watching on YouTube and those that are listening on the podcast who Patricia Hernandez-Vidal is?
Oh,
give us a little bit of something about yourself. Tell a little bit something about yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna try to be short because I always have a long story. But I am a wife. I am a mother of two boys, and I am a grandmother of 7.
Oh wow,
yes,
7.
Yes, ma'am. Beautiful grandchildren. I teach at Carroll Elementary. I have worked for the school district for many years. I worked 10 years, and I moved, and then I came back because Corsicana is the is where I live, and it's my home. So
have you always been in Corsicana?
I've lived in Corsicana with my family for over 30 years. I moved from Mexico. I immigrated from Mexico 36 years ago or so. And Corsicana became my hometown.
Okay.
And is where I learned how to speak English a little bit.
Yeah.
How I educated myself as well as my husband and my kids. We went to school. Navarro College is a wonderful community college. Then just right on time to when I graduated from college to start the Corsicana, Navarro College, and Texas A&M became partners.
Yeah, A&M Commerce.
A&M Commerce, and so I just immediately,
got your degree in education.
My degree in education. Yes, so I've been Corsicana is my home.
So you've been teaching how long now?
I've been in education for 20 years.
20 years.
Yes,
20
ma'am.
years.
20 years.
That's a long time to be,
I'm grateful.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yes,
so I brought you on because I wanted to talk to you about the Hispanic Heritage Month. And I wanted to bring you on because in our community, we're going to have a big probably by the time this podcast airs, it'll already have happened, but we're going to have a big celebration on Friday, which is September the 30th out of the stadium. Yes. And so I wanted to bring you on to talk about the Hispanic Heritage Month and what it means to the community and just a little bit about the celebration.
Of course. Ms. Kelley, I believe that talking about the Hispanic Heritage Month is not only talking about the Hispanic heritage and the history. It's talking about the history of many cultures, many ethnicities that have become one and that have become one America.
Yeah.
And so we are a very important part of the formation of the United States. And so I'm very proud of that. And it is very important not only knowing the meaning, which is not only history, but also that there is still so much to do for the Hispanic Americans. And of course, like I mentioned, this government has created many different monthly celebrations for all cultures. And so I believe that either Hispanic Heritage Month or African American Month or Native American, any of the celebrations that we have in our country are meant to be just to refocus, to rethink on not only the celebrations and the great food that we all offer, but that there is more to do, to refocus on what is next. And not thinking, not forgetting that whoever paved for us the way. We have to continue honoring them and celebrating and moving on, with our youngsters.
So how important is it for our young people?
Very important, very much, because we're talking about a melting pot here, in which we are all growing and becoming more like a family.
Yeah.
And so that's, to me, and personally, a very important point to our young community, to inherit that passion of equity, of being together, of respecting each other, of continue growing as a community and giving opportunities as many times as we can to all of youngsters, not only Hispanic but everybody.
Yeah. So do you find that your Hispanic young people, that they really embrace their culture? I mean, is that embedded into them to embrace their culture and be excited about who they are?
Yes, ma'am. And that is, I'm just gonna say that, for example, when our very young kids are or kids are growing up, they will like to keep the love and the willingness to speak Spanish at home, and to make mom and dad, grandparents, proud of who they are and that they can speak the language of their parents or ancestors. And then when they grow up later on in life, they know that it's very important to excel in education and at work, keeping that heritage and being proud as well, to continue that embracing of who they are. Because we keep moving, growing up in life. And so from kids to young adults to adults, we always go into, as we grow up naturally, on several stages. Well, it is the same when it comes to your heritage.
Yeah. So the celebration on Friday, what is it going to consist of?
Yes. So we are, as you may know, Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated from September the 15th to October 15th. It's a long month. And it is only because there are many countries in Central America that became independent from Spain in 1821 or so. And that became in September 15th. Then Mexico, September 16th, and so on, Chile, and many, many other countries, Central American countries. And so September the 30th, which is this Friday, and you are invited to come. And it is not only for Hispanic, and not only for the Hispanic community. It's like I tell my, when I have a celebration at school. It's Cinco de Mayo, but not only, I don't have many Hispanic kids in my classroom. It's not only for Hispanic
kids. It's for everybody.
It's just for everybody. Everybody.
Yes.
I want everybody to participate. They can dance, they can sing, they can, So this is everybody. So everybody, please come join us this Friday at the Tiger Stadium from 5:30 to 8 p.m. We're going to have food, of course, Mexican food, and from other countries as well.
I'm excited about that.
Yes. I was noticing this last Sunday that we have a very large community of people from Nicaragua, from El Salvador, from Honduras. I was like, oh my goodness, where have I been? That I have not noticed that. And so we're going to have a variety of foods and pottery and...
they're going to have, I think, some... Games
like bingo games, loteria, and with great prizes, so you can't miss that.
It's going to be music.
There will be music, yes. There will be karaoke if you would like to give it a try and maybe sing a Selena song. But everybody is invited. It will be a fun night that Corsicana ISD, Veronica Jensen, our Director of Communications, is organizing. She's overseeing. She is a wonderful person. And for the first time in our community, we will celebrate it as a as I want.
Yeah, and it's going to be community wide. So I encourage, anybody that's listening and anybody that's watching on YouTube to come out and just come to this celebration, because I know it's going to be a lot of people there.
Yes.
So what can you say to our young people about just embracing, who they are, because it's so important to, like you said, to maintain, your heritage, maintain your history, how just what can you say to those that are listening, especially, a lot of our community members? No, just the importance of it.
I'm just going to repeat myself. It is about refocusing, about giving opportunities, about celebrating, about remembering who paved our roads. And it is about what is more to do, because there is still more to do. And I believe that is very important, not only for adults, but also for our young community, that they need to know that there is more to do, and all together we can make it, and have more to do for our Hispanic community.
Because our community is growing. The Hispanic community is growing, and that's why it's so important, to celebrate, all our community members, regardless of not just African American, not just, the Caucasian community, not just, we want to celebrate everybody in our community. So I always give my guests, I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on and talking about Hispanic Heritage Month. Hispanic Heritage Month. I know it's going to be a great turnout on Friday. And so I always give my guests an opportunity to give their shout outs. Anybody like to give their shout outs too. So why don't you give your shout outs?
Well, thank you so much. First of all, to you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. This is a great opportunity. Just to give that little message of come to you and unify and refocus and move on. Thank you so much to Veronica Johnson for starting this celebration, community-wide. It is very important to all of us. We're here, and we want everybody to know that we're here not only with, negative comments or preconceptions about Hispanics, but that there is so much that we have contributed and we can continue to contribute to our community of Corsicana and this country as well. And shout out to you, because I know that you're going to show up. I know that you're going to come and you're going to wear your attire. And if you don't have one, hey, you can probably buy one over there.
Why don't you say something in Spanish to those that are, because I'm sure it might be some families that may listen to the podcast just because you're on it. Say something in Spanish to the community members.
Of course. Muy buenas noches, Patricia Hernandez-Vidal, su servidora, invitándolos para que este viernes no falten, por favor, no falten, para que esta celebración sea única. Es la primera que vamos a tener en Corsicana, la primera celebración de este mes de la hispanidad. Y decía yo en inglés que no solamente es acerca de la historia, de lo que ha pasado, sino es de lo que está presente y sobre todo de lo que viene. Podemos dar esa luz a los que vienen atrás, a nuestros jóvenes y a la comunidad, que se reenfoquen en nosotros, en los hispanos, que merecemos también esas oportunidades, because we all deserve better opportunities. Así es que los espero el viernes para que festejemos todos. Gracias y buenas noches.
Thank you so much,
You're
Ms.
very
Patricia.
welcome. Thank you so much, Ms. Kelley, for having me.
You're so welcome. And to those that are watching the Cana Girl Speaks podcast on YouTube, also that are listening, just continue just to support, our community, support those that are trying to make things better. And I hope to see you on Friday out at the Tiger Stadium. And also, I just want to say, like I said, thank you. And just continue just to keep listening, keep watching the Cana Girl Speaks podcast.
Hasta la vista.
So with that being said, have a safe week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
This is a Legacy Recording Studio production.